What's up? This is Ross with Tactics out at Soltech headquarters with Paul Kwan, the designer for America. And this is a big one. We're talking the Reynolds G6. We've already had a lot of questions about this one, so I'm sure you're stoked to hear about it. Let's hear all the details and the redesign and what we have with the new Reynolds shoe.
Right on. Let's get right into it. So pretty much Andrew just wanted to build a shoe from the ground up based on his specs and what he's kind of learned from skating, like the Reynolds Low and the High that came out a couple years ago. And he has a lot of like requirements for like how he skates and like the age that he's in and what he needs out of a shoe. So we really try to just build this thing exactly to Andrew's specs, and like just my whole goal is just make him happy. Like whatever he needs, like make him happy, but let's do it in a way that where aesthetically the shoe will look a lot more comparable to what's out there now. Like still giving him the cushioning that he needs without sacrificing the slim down look and the pointed toes and the lower toes that people like that on the shelf, that looks good as far as shelf appeal goes. So we have one that's cut up here just to kind of show you what we've done. And there's a lot of understated details that have gone into the construction of the shoe that need a little bit of explaining, but it's actually pretty innovative from our standpoint of what we've been able to achieve. The first thing is you'll notice all the foam that's in here in this exposed area, and this cutaway view just helps illustrate like what we've done. And one of the biggest things is there's a process that we use called pour-in polyurethane. So we take the foam in its liquid state and then we just pour it directly into the cupsole. And you'll see how kind of deep this cupsole cuts, and it allows us to give us that cushioning, that extra volume of foam without compromising a big toe. We kind of wanted to keep that lower. That was a big thing for Andrew. He just wanted a lower toe box, but he still wanted all that cushioning. And so what that liquid foam does is when it cures, it makes the shoe extra flexible. So straight out the gate, it's almost as flexible as a vulcanized shoe. You can see when you bend it, it's pretty flexy, and that's due to the foam being poured in its liquid state. You can see the open cells are a lot wider. There's no compression on it, so the foam doesn't get hard. Mm-hmm. So it stays really soft and absorbs a lot of impact still. And when he got his first sample, he was just tripping. He was like, dude, it feels like I'm skating like a Vulc, but he could jump down stuff. He'd get the cushioning. On top of that, you can see how much G6 foam we have in there. And on top of that, we put on polyurethane insole. So you get the added impact absorption of an insole on top of really good foam. So it's just really built to Andrew needing that comfort, needing that cushioning for his feet. And you can tell right away if something is just a hair like more rigid or stiffer than the foam that he's used to skating in. So did all that, put all that in there to make him happy. And then another thing that we did that's pretty innovative is we have this bifold thermic weld, which you can kind of see we have exposed. It's another throwback to the Reynolds 1. I mean, the shoe is like kind of like an amalgamation of the 1, the 2. There's a little bit of everything in here. But that little piece kind of goes all the way down to the lasting board, which you can see here. So once you get through this toe cap layer, you still have the thermic weld to go through and another piece of suede that goes all the way down into the lasting board. So it's basically like 3 layers of durability. So the way that we kind of approach that is that we wanted to have a shoe where aesthetically you have the cool breakup of having that sewn on toe cap, which is like what he likes, that whole look. That was so prevalent on the Reynolds too, but also having it skate like almost like it's a single toe cap. So where if you rip through the stitching and get through this layer, it doesn't matter because you have a whole another 2 layers to go through. So the shoe is like extra durable. It's stitched and turned on the quarter panel, so where you do your ollies, there's a lot of reinforcement as well as having the weld there. And then
so that same material here is that same material.
Yeah,
there?
Exactly. It gives you extra reinforcement where you need it, pretty much. And we just try to have that like understated as far as like the technical advancement. We didn't want to have like these loud screaming bells and whistles. We just want to do subtle things that actually help you skateboard or help you skate longer, so you don't have to worry about your shoes. You can focus on skateboarding.
What's the material with that?
It's kind of like almost like a thin sheet of like thermal activated plastic. So when heat's pressed on it, it bonds to whatever suede is there.
Okay.
So the innovative part for us is we were able to bond it on both sides of the suede. Normally you see like what's called hot melt. It's only on one side of the shoe.
Yeah.
and it's you can only see one side of it. So this way, like we kind of like bonded both sides, so that really like fuses two pieces of suede together to almost make it like it's a single toe cap. So that was like the biggest benefit of using this material, and it's
Cool.
kind of a thing that's been around. Like other shoe companies have used it, but for us, just because the company uses it first doesn't necessarily mean it's the best application for that for skateboarding, because you have a lot of innovative things that come from running shoe companies, but it's like, how do we take those and repurpose them into skateboarding and have it like benefit the skateboarder? And I think that's the biggest approach for us. We don't really necessarily want to do things just because everyone else is doing them. We want to use them correctly for skateboarders that actually help them skateboard. So that's one of the things we kind of implemented on this new model, and we're pretty stoked on it. It lasts really long. Andrew's skating in them, and the durability is like, it's really well received. So it's an important part. And then we have a perfed neoprene on the tongue to give you the breathability. So there's a lot of things going on there. Breathability, durability, cushioning, it's all there kind of to help skating. And there's a little bit of like paying homages to the Reynolds 2 on the side of the cup, some detailing. So yeah, it's been cool just to see Andrew post like weird little teasers on his Instagram and just see the comments kind of light up, and there's a little bit of a mystery to it, but I think when people see it, they'll be psyched,
Well, it's really cool to see it all come together. I know, just when you feel that tongue, that almost just kind of seals the deal already. Like that feels so good. I always love these neoprene little bands here. It's just like, I don't know, it's a very durable, like great skating shoe, but also like when you put your foot in there, it's like you can tell the difference.
And I think people will really notice when they try it on, they walk around, how much cushioning is in there, but the fact that it doesn't look like this big bulky shoe, it's the shape of it's actually pretty nice and slimmed down for how much durability and how many layers are in there, and that's part of using some of these new applications to kind of get us to that point. But it's been rad working from the ground up, completely from scratch, and hearing him come in and take his ideas, and he comes in with little drawings, and he'll like collage cut shoes up and like on paper and kind of like paste them to different soles. He's like, something like this, and then to take those ideas and then refine them with ideas that I have that could kind of help function for him. It's been rad. It was a really good collaborative process, and yeah, we're stoked on the outcome. So
awesome. Well, thank you for giving the details on everything behind this Reynolds. It's really great to see it all in one piece and in two pieces as well. If you want to know more, be sure to drop your comments and questions in the box below, or head over to tactics.com.